as the wheels turn. Every Thursday night we pedaling as the wheels turn. Racing through the streets and through the hills as the wheels turn. Every Thursday night we pedaling as the wheels turn. Streaming live with Turner, so yes.
A pleasant good night. Welcome to
the 185th edition of As the Wheels Turn. Like they say, the best thing happening on a Thursday night. We'd like to welcome one and all, everyone that's watching, people from the diaspora, that's watching, people from around the world, that's watching. You are here tonight with myself and Andrew Adonis, and the reason you're here tonight is because you are going to be participating in the cycling community and great conversations around cycling, what's happening in Belize, cycling related, some of the guys that are doing really well on the international scene, also a lot of stuff coming up, nationals, we'll be talking about that. So with that being said, good night and welcome.
yeah, well, you know something? The champagne, we are both champagne tonight.
Really?
Yes, we are both champagne when we have a guest on because it was well deserved. It will be a beautiful night, folks. You know, all week I was full of joy after this weekend, but we'll wait until we have our special guests, and you know, the show will be on fire. But you want to say good night, welcome one and all. I want to thank Mr. Kevin Logan. Good night, sir. Don't eat up the?
Yes.
You don't eat up already?
Yes, we had a delicious fish burger. So thank you, Kevin, and thank you and Miss Debs for picking that up. What do you have tonight?
Boy, I know what I say.
Okay. But once again, thanks to Kevin for the food, and thanks to Kev for the wardrobe, right?
Wow, it looks sweet.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we have some races to report on, but as like I mentioned, we have a special race that we are two cycling stars, and then we also have Roque Matos, who was abroad doing well. But maybe start with the birthday greetings first. Actually, no, I started with birthday greetings. I definitely have a death announcement to share, and then I have a special announcement to make about our dear brother. But anyway, the death announcement is Mr. Peter Chavaria. Peter Chavaria is relative to Jocelyn, Baby Chav, the whole Chavaria family. He's the brother of the Orlando one in 1991.
That was before my time.
Why? See?
That was before my time in cycling. So
well, Orlando Chavaria, cross country champ. I think he beat Gustavo Carrillo.
that had to be in the 80s then.
Yeah, in the 80s. I don't remember. Yeah. His brother passed away, I think sometime earlier in the week. So our prayers with the entire Chavaria family, and such a great loss. He was involved with cycling at one time too. His brother was a cross-country champion, and we mourn his loss. So definitely want to say condolence to the entire family from As the Wheel Turns and the entire cycling community. George, I don't know if I could put up a picture of Mr. Lindsay Gillett.
You want to put up the poster?
The poster, yeah, put up a poster. I just want to touch on it just before we move on.
Right now, this one, yes, so I got it. This right there?
Yeah, that right there. So, folks, before we get into the show, we definitely, if you notice, you could read it. Medical fundraiser for Lindsay Gillett. Who know who Lindsay Gillett is? Lindsay Gillett is the 1983 cross-country champion, and he won that at only the age of 18 years old. Lindsay has a stroke and is currently seeking support for a heart surgery. He is in need of a pacemaker to correct the heart block. The first surgery will cost $15,000. So you have all information. You can call those numbers. You have the Heritage Bank account, and you have a information contact. So just before I close shop, Mr. Sean Tega drop off $30. So just make a note of that. So $30 is at the shop. I want to try put it on heritage account, but I just make the family know that Mr. Shantega, and so we ask that they contact that person, and then if you have anything, put it on the Heritage Bank account. Let's support Lindy, a great champion, a great cycling brother. So we all need help, and so every dollar count. I think I make some powder bun and sell too. Who buy the powder bun? The funds go towards him, my brother. Lindy did.
Yeah.
We have tried something. We have done something. We have done something.
No, absolutely. Lindy is definitely a friend of ours, and a great example of what it is to be a hardworking human being. Unfortunately, he succumbed to some medical emergencies and needs some attention right now. So the cycling community is definitely going to be behind him and his family and rally for him for a complete recovery. He was here with us not too long ago at your birthday? Was it your birthday celebration or the show?
Who?
Lindy.
No, Lindy was not here.
Yeah, Lindy was here.
He was here?
Yeah, Lindy and his wife was here. You don't remember?
Why?
On the back porch.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. I was talking to him.
Yeah.
Doesn't he live in Boone?
No. Lindy live in Kamalote.
Oh, Kamalote.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, Lindy.
Maybe it wasn't Lindy then.
No, if Lindy was here,
You remember
I
now?
remember that.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
not. Okay.
We had great rivalry. We were awesome friends that were
Okay,
here.
okay.
So Lindy
Yeah.
was a close friend of ours. He's a close friend of ours. So,
Alright, gotcha.
And so every support we could get for him will definitely be appreciated.
Absolutely. So we do wish him a speedy recovery and hope that everything goes well with him.
Yeah, and this past week we laid Mr. Clinton Castillo, the two-time cross-country champion, to rest. I did a little rendition for them, and they totally enjoyed it. They called me, and they really enjoyed it. I did the bugle, and I did a little exciting talk, he's winning he won the cross country in 1967. So
that's kind of your trademark.
Yeah, and the funny love. So they said thanks, so but I was happy to be part of his sending home, and may he rest in eternal peace. So so I move on to birthday greetings. I don't have a whole lot. So the birthday greetings I have, Mr. Rigoberto Rivas celebrated his birthday. Mr. Orlando Cad, he's the father of Sean Cad and all the rest of the Cad brothers. Mr. Kent Simplis, follow cycling a whole lot too. Happy birthday to you. Heavenly, happy birthday to my brother-in-law, Douglas Boyne.
Doggy Fresh.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. We have a couple as well.
Okay.
Kaden Bowman was 2 days ago, June 10th. My friend and cousin Lloyd Russell, June 10th as well. Happy birthday. Clark Herrera, June 9th was his birthday. We have that might be it.
I see somebody look familiar, so I don't know if that person, right?
Yeah, Orlando Cad. You said that already, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned that already. Oh, Anthony Cad. Anthony Cad Jr.
Okay.
Former cyclist as well, living in Belmopan now. His birthday is today. So, Anthony Cad Jr., happy birthday. Time to get back on the bike. Let's see. My sister-in-law, Natalie Castillo. Her birthday as well.
I see you said Kaden Bowman just now?
Kaden Bowman, yep.
Okay, you said.
Yeah, that's it. That's about it, Andrew. Right. So happy birthday to all you guys. And if we miss anyone, have a happy birthday.
Yes, So the like I said, this would be a great show. I was waiting the whole week to have this to come here in Boom, in beautiful Barrel Boom, to face our fans and talk about an exciting event. So we had some races. We had, I think last Friday, George, you would have the Belmopan race.
It's nice to see the guys in Belmopan picking up racing again, Andrew, because they used to do the Thursday morning races. Now they're doing it on Friday?
Well, they did it Friday and then they do it Thursday this month, so we have both,
yeah.
So, they want to start the open regular or open 50?
They open elite.
Right,
So in the Open Elite, we have in first place Fernando Rosado rides for Anthony Mala DJ Alliance. In second, Big Sam Vicio rides for Team Santinos and taking up the third position. Young Richie Rosado, he rides for Rolling Channel?
Yes, Rolling Shutters.
Yeah.
Correct.
And the over 50 men. So we had Daniel Cano riding for Team Santinos, second. Calbert Flowers, George, that one with the Calbert Flowers in here, and third.
Yeah.
No, that this morning, George. This week. This one this week, yeah. So last week and this week, they're the same 1, 2, 3 in the elite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this Thursday morning. So this one is this Thursday morning. I want to put it back that one, George. They want to put it back that this morning. So even though Ryan not counted, the Colonel Lovell came. Yeah, first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
First Daniel Cano, second Colonel Lovell, and third Calbert Flowers. Then last week, you know, still one last week.
They're not in the right position there, though.
Yeah, I think the.
So second, based on the picture, would be Calvert Flowers.
You know something he did send me. I'll have to look for that
So
information.
it might be Calvert second,
Yeah.
and then Colonel Lovell is in third.
But last week, the result the exact the same in the elite.
Okay.
The only thing changed this week, the Colonel Lovell, Ryan nominated for this week.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be Colonel Lovell?
Colonel Lovell for this week. But I'll see what position he.
That's
comes.
George.
Well, if that's in your message, okay, I send you the message. All right, cool, George.
Sorry, the one I like that word name to me.
Yeah.
Well, it's George. It's George Lovell Senior. Is his
Yes, Colonel
full
George
name?
Lovell, yeah, but George can go by the spelling when he's seen it.
The group.
Yeah, because I forward the information to him.
Gotcha.
So George just go by what he says. So sorry, Colonel Lovell. Any misspelling?
I made the one that I spot.
Yeah. That Colonel Lovell. I'll blame you, Calvert. Yeah, that this morning. But last week one, they had it Friday, and first was Fernando Rosado, second was in the elite was Big Sam, and third was young Richie Rosado. So back to back, they had the same result Thursday and Friday. Only this week they had the Thursday one. Colonel step in.
Yeah. Do we know who's organizing those races?
I'm not sure. I think that Mr. Chris Berry.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that Mr. Chris Berry. Yeah, and then we move on to Sunday race. I make you say that one day. The how you go? What your race name? What Rumble?
The
Old Road
Rumble.
Old Road Rumble.
Yeah. So George, you want to go ahead and put that on the screen? The different categories. But so we had a race, the Old Road Rumble. It was a race that was sponsored and hosted by Elephant Sons, organized by Mr. Nigel Alvarado, and you know he did a pretty nice job. It was officiated and came under the auspices of the Weekend Warrior Cycling Club. So all rules applied there. It was A category, B category, and C category. Now the Weekend Warrior Cycling Club is a little bit different from the Chief Masters races because it's not by age group. It's more ability based.
Okay.
So A, B, and C. So you have some younger guys that would be in the B category and also the C category. So it's a mix of different ability levels. At some point, I would hope that everything is standardized and we just move towards an age category. I think that's the best way to run cycling here in Belize across the board. But with that being said, it was a lovely race, a very fast race, Andrew. We averaged almost 27 miles an hour for the first, I would say for the first 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was exciting. There were several station prizes in all categories in the A, B, and C category. So from the start, it was we were jostling to be in front of the race. Very, very exciting. When the dust settled, we had a couple of guys who went off the front in the name of Kent Gabriel and also Emery Gill. Kent made an attack right at about around by mile 14 or so, heading towards Sand Hill. And he made a clear attack and followed by Emery Gill, and those guys ran for quite a bit for several miles, and then they were joined by Sam Vicio and Brandon Catus, along with SPD's Alvan Gillett. And then some shuffling happened there, and the winner out of that group was Sam Vicio, came in solo. Just behind was Kent Bob Gabriel, who again rode a fantastic aggressive race. Third was Brandon Catus. So Sam riding for Team Santinos, getting the win. And we have Kent Bob Gabriel for SPD in second place. And Brandon Catus riding for Running Rebels, running out the podium in the A category. The next category to report on would be the B category. The B category saw an impressive finish by LF & Sons, Mr. Robinson, Stephen Robinson, who attacked with about a mile to go and held off the group just barely, inching out D. Wade for a second place in the B category, and out sprinting in the bunch, Fitzgerald Palace Joseph and Barney the Boss Brown and Warren Cowie. Those were your finishers there. But in the B category, again, Stephen Robinson riding for Elephant Sons, D. Wade was BZ Boys, and Fitzgerald Palace Joseph riding for M&M Engineering. In the C category, Barney Brown. Good to see Barney back. And second race, second time on the podium. In second place, Warren Cowie. It'll be nice to see that battle throughout the year there between Barney and Warren. Barney has gotten him, well, Warren got him the last race, and now Barney got him this race. So it'll be nice to see how things shape out. And an impressive ride by the young man in the bunch, Chief Santiago Castillo, a young 69-year-old, rounding out the podium there, and also was in the top 10 as well. George, you've got the top 10 for that race?
I guess so.
Up on the screen.
Yeah. So top 10, again, Sam Vicio riding for Team Santinos was first. Kent Bob Gabriel was second. Brandon Catus riding for Running Rebels was third. Stephen Robinson, fourth overall on the first B. Dwayne Wade, BZ Boys was fifth overall and the second B. Fitzgerald Palace Joseph, sixth and third B. Barney Brown was C, first C, and riding for Digi was seventh. Eighth was Warren Cowie riding for Team Santinos, and third and second C. Philton Butler riding unattached was ninth place. Santiago Chief Castillo, like I said, top 10, 69 years old guy should be an inspiration to everyone. Third C category rider,
Ring a bell for the man.
69. Can I repeat that again? 69-year-old Santiago Chief Castillo, 10th place. By the way, no one is asking him to pace in these races, and he's beating a lot of guys. Okay, so remember, it's not who pace, it's who win the races. Yeah, you pace if you need to. But anyways, big up to those guys and congratulations to all the winners. Again, impressive race. The race was very fast, Andrew. The race average for a Weekend Warrior race, Masters race, we're averaging 24 plus miles an hour, over 40 miles.
Yeah.
So that's a very impressive speed. We had a combination. It wasn't all tailwind either. We had a combination of tail, cross, headwind. So again, very impressive. The guys rode solid, and I want to congratulate again all the winners. Congratulate Elephant Sons, who sponsored that race and did a nice job with officiating and organizing, and there were some nice prizes as well. I ended up picking up the most station prize, as always, 3 station prizes overall. They were issued in the B category. So thanks for that, and I hope you guys continue throwing these races.
Yeah, I I mean, like the drag race between Sam and Bob Gabriel. I mean, for the last, I think about 2 miles, I mean, mano boy, and Sam hold out Bob like the same thing, and eventually Bob cracked by shaky head. When I say shaky head, I said that's it. So, you know, I call all cyclists champion because I know the pain, I know the suffering, you know. And I have never rode a race that average in an speed day. When I'm in a ride, the average max maybe like 22 point something miles an hour. So and this when I just ride elite.
Mm-hmm.
So for club riders riding at that high pace, that show that cycling have definitely improved, and we see that the result that we have now. So awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, big shout out to again Stephen Robinson, who's just coming back. It's nice to see him coming back and already with a win.
Yep.
So very impressive. I think the first couple of races he didn't even finish those races or got dropped. So that's impressive. Winning their own race, and that's kind of in his backyard as well. So congratulations, Stephen. The next one will be a little bit more difficult, because now I know that you're a B rider. You'll be in trouble, my friend.
Yeah. George, I think I said 2 messages put up on the screen. I know one, Wilfred Faber. I think he said something about faith. I'll probably try to get in touch with him. Okay, he said.
Big message.
Okay, yeah, he said his shoes. Oh, you want what? You have a mountain bike pedal, and she have her shoes and want to use it, but she can't. Please, can you help me with a pedal? So Wilfred, I want to see what I can do. I want to contact Marlene and see who can help on the pedal. And then also, I think somebody sent him the bank information for Linda Gillett. I think somebody mentioned that. So maybe put up the bank information.
Yeah, we'll go ahead, guys. Just check the Ordonez Bike page, and we'll go ahead and put that information on there. So we'll have the flyer that has the Heritage Bank information, and also the phone numbers that you can call in order to support our brother, Mr. Linda Gillett.
Yeah, I think we have Roque Matos represent us in the DR. You have the information how the race
on his races. No, but I can we can talk about it a little bit. So he was in Punta Cana. George, you want to put up those pictures? So Roque was in Punta Cana, and it was a 3-day Masters race.
That we can put that in a group of pictures.
Yeah, one stage he was 6th on one stage. The next stage he was second, I believe. And I believe he was on the podium as well overall. So that's kind of what we have from Roque. We kind of rely on these guys when they go international to get us some good information, so we can report and give them the recognition. But it was a Masters race in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. So congratulations, Roque, on always being consistent.
You have a picture? You may send it. You find George? I think many of the group. I think I'm sent in the group.
Yeah, it's in the group.
How long ago this?
Yeah, me earlier at the same time when we put up the one for Chavney. That's around the same time.
What was the question you had with Orlando Chavarria again?
Huh?
Orlando Chavarria, you said. What was the question?
What year? What year?
It was 1995.
1995. Okay.
No.
Dave Yearwood provided that information. Yeah, let's move on to the next races then. Do we want to report on that race, or want to make her introduce her guests?
Report pan Roque race.
Not Roque, we're done with that.
Oh, you done with it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Try to find a picture.
But I meant the Tulsa Tough.
Yes, make a move on in Tulsa Tough then.
So we're gonna bring those guys on now, or?
Yeah, we could.
All right, cool. So excellent, guys. So again, we have 2 Belizeans currently representing on the international scene, Andrew, and we had these guys on the show last week. So I think after this, they may want to be on the show. Yeah, no, Stan, he sprinted for 6th place in that one. That was wrong information that was communicated. But anyways, so we have a couple of guys who are representing on the international level, riding at a very, very high level in the U.S. currently, and they recently took part in a 3-day Omnium, which is a series of crit races. Last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Andrew, we have Derek Chavarria and we have Jaiven Gonzalez. And these guys swept the entire races. They won all 3 days.
That's one for the history books.
That in itself is very impressive, right? So well done, Derek and Jaiven, and we have the results. So again, this is Tulsa Tough. On Friday, George, you want to go ahead and put up the one with Jaiven Gonzalez?
Yeah. For the show.
Excellent.
Watch the shop we about 10 away in the shop where we scream. Watch they applaud on the scream. The people must want to know Ghana.
So on Friday, Jaiven, it was a fantastic sprint. So there was one guy off the front, and Jaiven closed him and opened up the guy opened up the sprint, and Jaiven passed him in relatively easy fashion. First, it was Jaiven Gonzalez from Belize, representing Legion of Los Angeles in that race. We had Dylan Flockiger was second, and then third was Rex Roberts. So that's your podium for Tulsa Tough in the men's category 1-2. Again, Jaiven Gonzalez from Belize, riding this race with Legion of Los Angeles. Ring the bell, Donis. Don't forget to ring the bell. Ring the bell, Donis. We have the second is again Dylan Flockiger, and second is Rex Roberts. Ray, we have a big show tonight, Ray. Lots of stuff going on, Ray, so we'll be here for a while. That's why we're running through these results like that. The second stage. So Jaiven won the first stage. Second stage, guess who the winner was?
No,
Ring the bell again?
Yes, man, the young phenom.
Sorry, podium on that dog.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yes, Derek Chavarria from Belize, riding for Legion of Los Angeles, on the top step with another impressive finish. Second place, Ryan Drummond, and rounding out the podium was Stefan Roth. And the following day, back to back, Andrew, ring the bell again. Finishing off the three-peat by Legion of Los Angeles was Derek Chavarria. Ryan Drummond again was second. And in third place was Grant Wilkie. Impressive. And again, these guys are racing the category 1-2. So just to give you guys, the fans and the viewers, an idea of what category 1-2 is in the US. That's right next to pro, right? Because in races where, in cities where perhaps there's not enough pro riders, they fill the field with category 1 and 2. So sometimes you'd have the Pro 1 race or the Pro 1-2 race. So these guys are racing. I mean, it's very high level racing, and they're not only racing, they're dominating.
Well, you could remember that it was what, the Saturday one, when he went for the Prima 500, about 2 or 3 laps to go, and the commentator made a statement that Chavarria look winded, they're not sure if he could be there for the sprint, and Chav give it to him, boy. He's scattering like skittles. I mean,
impressive.
Very, very impressive. I think that commentator must say, who is this kid?
Very impressive.
Yeah,
yep, and what we'll do, Andrew, we will bring these guys on
So
after we take a break.
Right.
Yep. Was there anything else we need to cover before?
No, well, we know we have a race Sunday. Saturday, Mr. Gonze have his 199th edition. So that will be Saturday. I think he'll start I'm sitting Mr. Old Belize, head to Democracy and back. I'm not sure.
What's going to Democracia?
Huh?
Going to Democracia?
I think so, yeah. I think
wow.
Yeah. So that's the 199th edition.
Impressive.
Yeah. So the only race will happen this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a Father's Day race, huh?
Yeah, Saturday and B, not
Okay.
Sunday, yeah.
Excellent. Very good. Yeah, with that being said, we're going to take a quick break, guys. This break is brought to you by the Ardonis Bike Shop and 3.14 Pies. We will be right back.
Okay.
I'm here to say, hear me now. This is a Soul Fire production. Soul Fire production. As the wheels turn, every Thursday night at 6:30. As the wheels turn, racing through the streets and through the hills. As the wheels turn, every Thursday night we pedaling. As the wheels turn, streaming live with Ardonis. So yes. I sit and watch as the wheel turns. My bike is where I get my thrill. Up and down, riding through the hills. I have no fear as I climb and change my gear. Through the valley so steep, now we on the street. Yeah. As the wheels turn, every Thursday night at 6:30. As the wheels turn, racing through the streets and through the hills. As the wheels turn, every Thursday night we pedaling. As the wheels turn, streaming live with Ardonis. So yes.
Welcome back, D. What do we have?
Yes.
Champagne.
So welcome back, guys, to the 185th edition. And we did say the show was going to be special, right, Andrew?
Yep.
So Andrew, courtesy of?
Miss Rita Thompson, the queen of cycling.
Yes, so she has donated some champagne here for us tonight because we are going to celebrate a big accomplishment, in my opinion, with the Guys Racing International. Andrew said, let's do something a little special on the show. Of course, as the wheels turn, we do not support the consumption of alcohol, never, for athletes, but in a special occasion, we are not riding our bikes. We will do a toast.
Yep.
So you guys out there that's watching, that are cyclists, do not do what we do what we say. But with that being said, we have two special guests on the show, Andrew, that we'd like to welcome in the name of these guys that we're celebrating tonight. Derek Chavarria and Javin Gonzalez. Good night and welcome.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody.
Excellent. So you guys are the toast of the town right now. I mean, I know you guys are very humble kids. It was Andrew and myself's idea that we celebrate what you guys are doing. So first and foremost, we'd like to say from As the Wheels Turn family and the cycling community here in Belize, Derek and Javin, a huge congratulations to you guys. You are making us very proud. We feel very special to be Belizeans, and I know that you guys are carrying the flag very, very proudly across the U.S. I think after Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Tulsa, Oklahoma knows who is Belize and knows you guys very well.
Yep, you got right.
We appreciate all the support from you guys on there. I mean, after the first day with Javin bringing home the stage at Blue Dome, all the support and everybody will just be so that, they feel proud that we do something good. It motivates me for the rest of the upcoming stages of the come, and I think Javin could also attest to that.
I'm very, like what Derek said, basically, before the race, we had a short meeting with, myself, Justin, Derek, and Daniel, the other rider that was a part of the three-man team, basically Justin put a lot of pressure, you know, on my shoulders before the race even started. You know, he told me that they, you know, we train a lot of the guys, you know, mostly Corey, Justin, you know, he always deal with business or some stuff like that. So, they basically know which stages suit who, you know, like how the we first time did ride Tulsa. You know, they guys did like, you know, for years back in the ride Tulsa. So, you know, Justin said the first stage really suit me, you know, with the technical turns and stuff like that, you know. And that why the race the crit scene a little bit longer than their career, you know. So, you know, he said set it up for me for the first day, and the man basically said, you know, if I win, you know, the man they say you better win. So, you know, I just had to deliver did perfectly. You know, Daniel covered the first couple of months early part in the race, you know, where I really had to do much work and, you know, came up with the win.
Yeah. Jiven, I tell you, about 10 guys when you're in the bike shop and we were watching it live, and when you bust past a tape, watch like the shop roof won't come off because the whole neighborhood know that something to go on. We screamed at the top of our voice and cheer for you guys, so I guess you can feel it all over there. And I know thousands of fans in Belize and in the diaspora and other part of the world where Belizean are cycling fans. They definitely were cheering their hearts out for you. I know some people must have host because we definitely talk about it and we're very proud of you guys. You definitely make us happy, and you know, to see that you did back to back to back, triple the sweep, the sweep. Awesome, but you know, you hold your head up. I mean, we are so proud of you guys.
So
Yeah, thanks, man, everybody.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
excellent. So Jiven, since you won the first stage, the opening stage, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions first. Obviously, the start of any event, usually the pressure is on, right? That's when I think that's when the pressure is at its peak, because you have all these guys behind you. You have a big engine behind you in the Williams brothers and that whole Legion cycling. So you have a big program to represent. So you guys want to do well. Tell me what's going through your thoughts. What's going through your head? You know that you are the A-man on Friday during the race. Kind of what's going on in your head, trying to stay safe. You know how crit is. It's like a boxing match out there. So what kind of run us through quickly? You know what that race was like for you.
You know, like I said, you know, we had the meeting. Justin basically made to give us like, you know, a heads up at the race. You know, because he read it before. He made to tell we basically whether we should expect, you know, within the race, you know, with guys, you know, the dive bomb, guys and try cut you off, whatever, you know. So, you know, he made to tell me they have one chicane where you get a little bit narrow where the peloton basically want to try squeeze, you know. So going into the race, I tell Derek and Danny, you know, we want to win the race basically, but I feel like we number one priority should be stay upright, you know, stay at the front. I feel like that would be the most safest place in the field. So throughout the race, we just going to try to stay at the front and stay out of the chaos, you know. I don't lie to you, it was very scary. You know, a couple of crash happenings, you know, imagine the ride and, you know, you hear like a car crash there up behind you because it literally something like that because we race against 130 riders. So if one or two guys crash, you know, just know that 20 other riders will come down or even more. So it's scary, man. I don't lie to you, know, that's something far different from road racing. And, you know, we go through the cars, you know, some of the turns super fast. Like the first day we had one downhill turn. And then the road may really bad. So imagine the turn on a downhill section, and then your hand and your bike basically vibrate. And if you lean a little bit too hard or you miscalculate that turn, you will hit the deck. And it had a lot of holes. So if you hit the deck at that speed with that kind of road, you know, you definitely will probably. If you say it like this, but you know, definitely broke something, you know. So I gave a couple of scares in the first stages. So, you know, like I said, I just better try to be safe, you know, try to take the best lines possible, try no overlap, no wheels, and so through my mind, I was to try be safe and not really risk it, and that's my main thing going into the race.
Excellent. Well, it definitely paid off. And then knowing coming from a sprinter's perspective, where you're lined up there, the perfect scenario. You were behind the guy leading out the sprint, and I look at you. I definitely saw you had the power to finish that off. Tell us about that last 200 meters.
We had a plan. We wanted to control the race basically within the 10 lap radius. That when the real chaos really starts in at the race. When guys, everybody basically think the same thing. So everybody wanna be at the front of the race. So we just have to make sure. Well, Daniel's job was to ride Derek into the last 3 laps. So he had a big job where he had to basically ride the front like 4 to 5 laps on their own. And Derek may have take over, so they had to ride hard enough to where the field kind of shrink up. With basically only like the stronger guys or the top contenders in the field could probably try fight me in the wheel. And I also had to hold a good position, which I never really wanted up front too early in the race, because when a storm comes, it's like a super dangerous. Like basically 10 guys to try push you at the back of the field. So on both sides, from the left and the right, guys right as they come in a bunch to try take your wheel. So in a BELIZE, we probably want to ask, hey, because we can't break them, bro, but in the US, nobody know they ask, nobody that friends in the race. There was some moving off of the wheel, and they are try crash on all life, They are try crash up, so it get super sketchy. So, Daniel did a very good job with stringing out the field. Derek, he a super. Man, I'm a super domestic that day there, he just literally take up that daredevil move when the man went for the preem for the final lap. So which is not crazy because man had a job to do and the man still so I take off and I play back. The man right in front and I just had to jump before the lap kind of. So the guy in front of me, he take one even bigger gamble with jumping so far, so I end up no panic, and I just ran across to the wheel. I take my time while I know really did burn a huge amount of energy or burning in my days, and I just had to make sure I had grip to the sprint. So I just ran across the gap to the right element in front of me. The rest of the guys just stood up because they knew me literally too far to stop. So like I said, I just ran across to the gap, and I had to catch him before the last corner, because the last car also sketchy. Even though I'm slightly uphill and I had to get a draft in that last car, I know my distance from there. So when I say the 200 meter or 150 meter time, I just open up my sprint and I look through my hands and I put up a huge gap. Capitalize, I get a picture.
Yep, excellent. And I saw the enthusiasm when you crossed the line and threw up your hand. That shows the amount of passion that you guys are riding with and the commitment to victory. So, again, congratulations, Jaiven. That was a very, very impressive first stage. And like I said, probably one of the harder stages to win because, Andrew, it's an opening stage. All the pressure is on. Although these guys are doing their best to stay safe, winning is still the objective, right?
Right.
So even at that, the pressure is huge. So to pull that off as a team, that's very impressive, and you sealing the deal at the end.
Yeah. So the question, Jaiven and Chav, fans are asking why you guys how you get first overall and win all 3 stages. So maybe you can explain how the point system goes, because people say, but we had Chav and Jaiven, they win all 3 races, but they now win the top board, the overall. So maybe you can explain to them how the point system works.
Yeah, so the thing is that we on stage 3, 5 guys. One of the prizes for points, right? And the first place for the day get 26 points, and then the 25th place get 1 point. So in order to win the Omnium, the whole game are more consistently over win. So the guy that won probably get like maybe 10th in the first day, and then second the second and third day. Which in our case, I get 0 points on the first day because I completely set up after I did it out. So I end up to get 0 points. Then the second day, Javin set up and get no points. So when coming into the third day, we had the same amount of points of 26 each. Then when remember the guy that won, he had points already from the top day. Then he points on the second day, and then he gets second at the third day. So it's just more of a game of consistency and how much points you can accumulate on the 3 days as opposed to if you win a state. So I just very consistent play in a main factor.
Absolutely, but you guys were definitely the number one team. If there was points per team, you would have won that easily.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, probably.
yeah. So coming back to you now, Chav, following up Javin's impressive win on Friday, I spoke with Glenn, and Glenn was telling me what the strategy was, right? And it's one thing to have a strategy, and it's the next thing to execute it, right? So he was like, stage number 2 is for Derek Chavarria. We're gonna ride for Derek Chavarria, and then stage number 3, we'll see how it goes. We want to get the American a win, right? But you came back in another impressive fashion, winning back-to-back stages. Tell us about, after Javin's big win on Friday, I'm sure the team's morale was high, Derek, and you guys wanted to continue that, obviously. Tell us about day number 2 and how you secured that victory, and what were your thoughts throughout the race?
Yeah, so going into the race on the second day, obviously we had Javin in the on-down lead. The goal was to keep him in the lead while also winning the stage win. So when the race played out, it was played good in favor of Javin. But about 12 laps to go when the breakaway formed, it completely, kind of completely, because the guy made it across the breakaway without Javin. When that breakaway formed, he kind of just switched up everything. And so while I was in the breakaway, I was advised by the team, coaches and stuff, not to push the breakaway because, obviously my Omnium leader. So I kind of just got in the breakaway, didn't do too much work. The teams came up, went for the paint, and, the breakaway ended up staying all the way up until the final lap, which we wanted it to come back together, but it didn't. So while the breakaway stayed, the only option was there was to go for the win. So I set it up pretty well for us, and we ended up pulling the victory. So.
Excellent, and you guys been sprinting very, very well. You had a pretty tight sprint with Eli there a couple of weeks ago at a very high pace. So how did you feel in that break? You said you were probably maybe doing the least amount of work there because of team strategy, but you felt pretty confident once that sprint opened up?
Yeah, so riding across the breakaway, and majority of the guys are more powerhouses, they're strong and they're able to push the breakaways as opposed to sprinters. But also, they were doing all the heavy lifting, right? So you can't really blame for not sprinting well, because if they're pushing speeds, then obviously I'll have more legs. But they didn't seem too much like sprinters, and so I was confident enough to go for the gambler's dream, which was $500. I can't turn that down. So I got that team, and then on the last lap, I just set myself up in the best position. So when the guy who won third opened his attack up the climb, I was able to follow, and then when he launched his sprint into the final corner, I was able to jump on his wheel as well, and then use his draft to come out for the win on the home straight.
And that also because Chav, the commentator was saying that he don't believe that you're going to win because when you jump for that $500 premium with like what, 2 laps to go, or 2 laps or 3 laps? I mean 2 laps to go, right? Yeah. He said out that you look kind of winded, you don't think that you don't have it, but my question, after you sprint for that, I mean you're gone hard for it, how you feel for, come back and then win again? I mean, because, the commentators was doubting you, I mean, and you proved him wrong, so I had why you share it with the fans. I mean, what gave you that extra burst of energy to come and win again?
Yeah, I mean, one of the of it to bring home. I mean, I was the only representative in the breakaway. Obviously, I want to do good and make ups. That was the motivation to try and get the win, but also at the end of the day, if you spend $500, you could always have some money when we walk away home, right?
Yeah. Yeah. $500 is motivation by itself, especially 2 young men traveling from Belize, and you guys probably have a pretty hefty diet with all that training and racing, right?
Yeah, so bigly deeper, only 1 more lap, so.
Yeah. And you know what, Andrew, these guys are racing at a very high level, and I mean, they're pushing their threshold high, but they also have to recover. Right. And the thing is, with the crit racing, they'll tell you it's all about that, right? It's that going high, going low, right? And if you're recovering, the guys that are recovering faster in order to repeat that effort are the guys that are going to be doing well. So obviously they're in great shape to be able to do that, and it shows. So that now impressive, right? Impressive win, stage number 2 from the breakaway, like you said. You were playing the team guy, kind of sitting in a little bit, making sure the team is eating, making sure you take care of the win. So you did that on stage number 2. Now, winning 1 stage at Tulsa Tough is fantastic, right? Winning 2 stages is great. Winning 3 stages is almost unheard of, the team, right? And for you to come back to back, knowing that, yeah, you guys are riding strong. They're going to be watching the guys from Belize. They're going to be following every move. Tell us about stage number 3 and how you guys pulled that off as a team.
Yeah, so I'm coming into the last day. We were, myself were driving because we had the same points.
Mm-hmm.
So try and win. So we just went after and late. So
Chav, we're losing you a little bit. Seems like there's a little feed coming through the mic.
Okay.
Maybe if you have on TV or something, turn on, you get that feedback.
You can hear me?
Let's try it again.
Yeah, can you hear me clear now?
Yeah.
Much better.
Okay. Have to win, try to lead. But that it just go.
Yeah, we're still getting that feedback. Is the show running on anything there?
No.
Huh.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can hear me clear?
Yeah, hear clear now.
Right. Yeah, but it seems like
yeah, so like I was saying, going up the hill, then going up the climb, like each time, over time you get this, and I punchy and stay in the a little better.
I'm trying to call market for good.
Chav, let me. I'll call you right back, Chav. Let me dial you right back. Hang on for a second.
And if it's going to get hotter, then maybe.
Yeah, so perhaps.
Yeah, same thing would happen last time.
Yes, hello.
Yep, hello, let's try it again.
Yeah. So like I was saying, you know, all the feeling of attrition over time is gonna get to the legs and the body. So I'm a little bit I'm more able to sustain all the punchy climbs as opposed to jiving, and you know, we had DK also helping us containing breakaways and you know, just keeping us up front and safe. So with the help of Jivin and DK, we managed to keep the crowd together for a majority of the race. And yeah, coming towards the end, the guy, Ryan Drummond, he was trying to rip the field apart, but I mean, he was the only one who was really attempting to rip it apart. I wanted to come to a breakaway specifically so that other riders could beat him on the sprint, but I think he knows that he's not a sprinter, so he on the last lap he just kind of tore up the race, and it was like just me, him, and another guy trying to come across. So yeah, he knew his weakness is sprinting, so he tried to break the race up from early as possible, and then coming down to the finish, he still ended up getting second, which made him beat me by 5 points. So if he would have came in third, we would have the exact same points, and then I would have won the Omnium because I won
Wow.
2 stages. But also, yeah, so if he got third, I would have won the Omnium because I've won 2 stages, even though we have the same points.
Yeah.
So I would have gotten the overall lead, but you know, unfortunately for us, fortunately for him, he got second and ended up keeping the Omnium lead.
Yep. Still, I mean, impressive. I don't know. I think in my opinion, I'll take the 3-stage wins.
Yeah, me too.
I would take 3-stage wins at second and 500 pre. So I think you guys at the end, in my opinion, are still the big winners. But you could.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it at the glory standpoint, he got the win for the overall Tulsa Tough.
Yeah.
But also, if you look at it in our, you know, in our pockets, the Omnium lead was only $100 more. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Plus.
it doesn't matter. I mean, the race is over, and we gave it a good shot.
Yeah.
So.
Look, guys. Basically, that's 3 races, and you guys won all 3 races, right?
three.
And I'm sure you want to. There was a third piece to this puzzle, Andrew. And I'm sure, being the teammates that you guys are, you want to definitely recognize him as well.
Yeah, Daniel Kalichman, he's a rider from Canada. Super strong rider. He's officially on Legion's team, but because of the way the Tulsa Tough works, it's very tight when it comes to having riders joining the pro race. So he wasn't able to join the team because I think there's only 6 riders they allow per team. And the squad was full. The other the field limit was full, so we had to join the 1-2s. And I mean, it wasn't too bad because obviously it's our first Tulsa Tough, and we didn't know what to expect. We all know that it's very scary, and riders are very jumpy. Riders are very eager to want to win this race, so it makes it a lot harder to stay safe. So opting out and going into the 1-2s was one of the most, I'd say one of the most effective decisions we made.
Excellent.
Yeah, the question I want to ask Javin and Chav, how you say on BELIZE we have a road race and you get your service and you eat the time. In a short race, you got chance to eat or just liquid or just gels? What do you do?
I mean, we at some point you have to kind of stay hungry. I mean, our race was only an hour long, so before the race starts, I'd eat maybe a gel or maybe a small bar, and like halfway throughout the race, I chew on another gel. But sometimes you kind of just forget about it, and you could do the entire hour without food, but obviously at the end of the race you're gonna get hungry. So if you could eat during the race, it would probably be just a gel, because eating bars and heavier foods would not do you too well. So yeah.
And a race, what are like the average? I mean, the lap after lap, about what? It keep a constant average. I mean, I don't think it slow down. It sometimes pick up on the end, right?
Yeah, I believe driving the first day that driving won, we averaged
29 point something miles per hour.
29 point something miles per hour. You know, pretty flat race. Had a climbing height, but overall it was speed. You know, the course overall was fast. On the second day, I averaged 27.2, and then on the third day it was 25 miles per hour.
Wow, amazing. Yeah.
The second day was the one with the hill, right?
No, the last one and the one in
The
the hill.
second day
Or-
was the one he had a climbing height, but never the crybaby hill.
Crybaby was day number 3.
3, right?
Yeah, crybaby was day number 3. That's where we averaged 25 miles per hour.
Excellent. So 30 miles an hour day 1. That's some impressive racing there, guys. With that being said, I'm gonna give you guys a quick minute just to recap the whole experience. Obviously, this is your first Tulsa Tough. Riding a big race. I know that race is huge on the American crit scene. Share with us here in Belize and folks who have never done it. What's the whole experience? Tell us about everything that got you guys excited, and if you'd go back, you're looking forward to doing it again next year.
Yeah, I mean, starting off, getting to Tulsa, we had the help of Miles Clark and the Williams family. We were in a good house, so yeah, we arriving to Tulsa, we had the love from the Belizean guys there, helping us and showing us around some of what Tulsa is like, and then approaching the race, it was a ride with the pros, which was that kind of started the excitement for the race, because there was maybe 200 to 250 guys, maybe even more, just riding on the road, greeting everyone, and just like a big get together the day before the race. So we literally from all the clubs. Yeah, with a lot of people. Literally close to 800 people, bro. Yeah, there was 500 people before the race, just getting together. Yeah, right before the race.
These are you talk about cyclists, right?
Yeah, cyclists.
Okay.
I mean, we get together, and then we kind of just rode around for 20 miles, talking to each other and greeting everyone before the start of the event. And this was on Thursday. And then, after the ride, they had some food, drinks, and everybody just sit on underneath the tent and conversate, and just leave pre-race vibes.
Yeah, literally everybody from all the categories. So,
Okay.
So just imagine 130 for every category, 130 riders for every category. So
That's
we were literally close to 400 to 500 riders.
Yeah, that's
It's a bit crazy.
Yeah, and then the Friday, we had good rhythm throughout the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the wins, and after every day, you just get more excited. I mean, you win the first day, and then you're like, all right, it starts off good. Then we come into the second day, we're like, we see if we do it again, and then when we win the second day, then we're like, all right, we have to win the third day.
Yeah.
So, just like you said, the rhythm for the weekend, and then the experience with the fans and everyone they're over the course, the support. There's a huge crowd. I mean, the adrenaline you get, literally you ride up on Tour de France hill, and previously, somebody may tell me previously they never used to have barriers. So when time you ride up Crybaby Hill, they have people literally in the middle of the road. Where when time you ride, they just they scoot over to the side, so you literally feel like you climb up up the way, so everybody in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
But the experience there was insane. I mean, crowd, everything was just gonna happen. I'm kind of too much for to comprehend, but at the same time, it was just amazing. You know, everybody very supportive, and you know, all the big ups and everything else that the race from the cyclists them, you know, all the spectators and stuff like. You know, it was really nice, and we definitely hope to go back next year and race in the pro category. So.
Yeah, wicked, wicked. And Jivan, share your experience a little bit as well. How excited it is, you know, to be a part of that, and again being on a winning team, and just the vibes, right? Because I know, you know, we race in Belize, and the vibes is totally different. That's what I say a lot to the guys, right? Being in the US and being at these big events like Grand Fondos, and you know, an event like Tulsa Tough where it's 500-600 riders, and everyone is just having fun, and on race day the war will happen, but before that, everyone is so chill with each other. That doesn't quite happen where we come from. So tell us about your experience, Javin, and just, you know, your thoughts about being at a race.
Well, you know, like what Derek said, you know, I mean, a long preparation going into the race. So, like, you know, getting our tickets from LA to Tulsa, you know, I have to big up the Williams family, you know, Mr. Kalman and Miss Des, you know, they, you know, help me out get the flights and stuff like that, you know. And also big up Mr. Glenn Flowers, you know, the man really helped me out throughout this entire ordeal, you know, with, you know, helping us, you know, with the anything, you know, and the man always had a back throughout the entire thing, you know. We keep in touch with the man, keep the man updated, how everything is going on, you know. So just big shout out to Mr. Glenn. Also, you know, Mr. Miles Clark, the man, house with now, you know, a beautiful house with me in there, so, you know, we make comfortable. We literally made the day like the Monday, and the race starts Friday, so we went there a little bit early, you know. That may way better for us, you know, because with the time a little bit different weather from LA, you know, the something close to like Belize weather, it may kind of humid, you know, with the it also a couple of days it rain, so a couple of rainy days, you know, the sun may kind of the out, but when the sun do come out, the air do get a little bit dry, so just imagine hot sun hot, and you know, it's super hard for sweat. So, you know, we appreciate the head day super early, and you know, it may actually nice, you know, to catch up with the guys from Legions, Blazers, you know, everybody there from the team, just, you know, super cool. Everybody just, you know, we just have fun. You know, the whole thing is when I race the bike serious, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, everybody, you know, they have fun. You know, the core race just did, you know, all jokes every day, we laugh, you know. You cry together, you know, but like, you know, because this at times cycling gets super discouraging, you know. Just imagine you to train hard as you could, and sometimes the results not really there, you know. So for me, you know, getting that win, so, you know, it may super emotional for me, you know, because I may have a lot to weigh on my mind, so, you know, getting that win, so that may a confidence booster, you know. So going into this second day, you know, I tell Derek, you know, if he could go for the win, you know, I want to support it 100%, you know, but if you come down to a field sprint, then most definitely I'm a challenge sprint, which we know the second day we are going to a breakaway, so, you know, like what Derek said, you know, more of a punchy rider. You know, the climbs never really like super hard. Like if we may go over it like one or two times, I actually let me survive it, and that way that's why I'm going to a sprint finish and definitely try to live again. But they go over a climb like 25 to 30 times, you know, after a while, you know, it get to you. So, you know, we may communicating at the race, and I tell Derek just ride a bike, bro. I'll try my best to be up front, but, you know, if he could get in at the breakaway and represent us, you know, then that will be perfect. You know, I don't know, a selfish rider at the end of the day, so, you know, if Derek win, or Daniel end up the win the race, you know, I mean, I'm super happy for them, you know. The experience, man, you know, I enjoy it 1000%, you know, like what Derek said, you know, especially on Crybaby Hill, man, like, people us today, just to cheer on, like they have absolutely no idea who you are, but they're like, yo, you know, they scream up, they run beside you, you know. like even the clothes, like you know, a couple of guys been out there that just like brief thing, like they just crazy and they enjoy themselves, you know. And that was literally one different culture, so that was super dope for me. I had fun, you know. The meet and greet before the race, you know, had you know, I mean, literally everybody from all the categories. So when maybe 130 to 140 guys from the masters, the cat 5, the cat 3s, females 1, 2, females, you know, that I'm literally close to like 400 to 500 riders. The Thursday, you know, I mean, a huge ride. We made a left turn on one of the rides, and I look back. I almost did like half a mile away from the turn. I look back where I still see people the turn, literally just the turn. So you know that I mean a huge crowd. You know, we get to meet new people. We even meet a couple of Caribbean guys. You know, like Akil. You know, we end up to catch up with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we meet some really good people out there. You know, I mean, wear my Belize jersey, so a lot of guys drive up to me and just say, man, nice jersey, super cool jersey. You know, I get a lot of compliments for the Belize jersey. You know, I just had fun. You know, and then we just had the support. You guys back home. You know, I get a lot of messages. You know, from families, friends, supporters. I'm not sure if I cover all of them, but you know, I try my best to reach out to everybody and just, you know, tell them thanks and how much appreciation, you know, like I say. We just stay out here and with the sacrifice and all that, you know, a lot of people just look on it like, you know, that not really nothing we do, but you know, behind closed doors and you know, this time a really hard and dangerous thing we do, you know, we really get hurt, you know, the type of races, yeah. And, you know, like I said, we the sacrifice and that, you know, skin, blood, you know, and we train super hard, man. A lot of people don't see it, you know. But we literally ride we bike every day. You know, sometimes my coach, me and Derek coach, Mr. Ken Go Cool, you know, send me a schedule, you know, from the race, literally done the Sunday, he already sent me we other week schedule and like, and sometimes you know what I do, but I just determined to right now, like I just tell myself, you know, I already did this far, so like I have to do it. And you know, man, I had fun, you know. So cycling that tough sport, but also you want to have fun, you know. Me and Derek the human, so you know, sometimes you get to it, but you know, we still push through, and we also want to have fun along this journey, so much thanks and love to everybody who support it now.
You hear exactly what they said. The amount of the time we put in there, people just watch people watch the wins and say, yeah, but where both Derek and Javin say, and all cyclists, and we talk about it off camera, that people take it for granted that then guys just get out there, oh, win a race. No, there's so much going behind. He said the sacrifice they make. I mean, you say he's so deep into it. He just continue, but they are humans, and you know, and for the kind of result there, the way I have to tell you how much they are superstars. I'm very impressed. And you know, I wish them all the best and continue to do a great job. I mean, you know, I tell you, the amount of people follow the amount of me not take part in a race and people call me and they congratulate. I said, no, me for congratulate them. Well, I said, don't ask because you always share stuff and I want to continue to share positive things with all sports cycling because we know the sacrifice of being a farmer cyclist. I have never run a race where average 24 miles an hour, and you see one guys there on average 29, 27. It's crazy, and so you guys really put in the hard work, and you know they say hard work pay off, and so holding up head high, and you know that so much people are behind, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well said, Andrew. And the thing is, with like Javen did say, right? Without great sacrifice, you cannot have great success, right? Even with great sacrifice, sometimes the success won't come. But without great sacrifice, you cannot have great success. Javen and Derek, a fan has or a viewer has a question that they'd like to ask you guys. What's your biggest takeaway from this experience? You can start with either one of you guys first.
Yeah, me personally, I think one of my greatest takeaways from this experience is to have a little bit of confidence. Especially for me, and driving notice, I'm not, I don't like the corners, I don't like the crits too much, but like going into the corners, I'm a little bit scared to lean in fully. So, having to build that confidence to go around the corners a little bit faster was one thing, but also coming into stage three, I was literally all the way at the back of the start, and I was just by myself. Javin and DK was a little bit ahead, and I was just sitting there, and CJ come up to me and he's like, why are you so tense? Like, what's wrong? And I just tell him, man, like, I just feel a little bit nervous, and and the man gave me a lead talk, and he told me to just go into the race with the mentality of you're the best rider out here, and like that gave me a little bit of confidence to say that, you know what, okay, actually come to this, and so yeah, it kind of just give me a little confidence. The biggest thing is to have a little bit of confidence, even though if you don't know the competition of the riders, the level they're at. But going into the race, just believing that you can do it, I think it helps a lot with just surfing around the field, around the corners, just having that confidence to tell yourself, okay, I'm capable of it, and so I have a chance. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from me.
Excellent, Javin.
My biggest takeaway, what being fearless. Like I say, it gets super scary. I know, like, to you guys. I get caught up in a couple crash, and after that, cause they usually give one free lap. If there like 7 laps to go, if we get a free lap. So after I get caught up in I almost crashed the Friday. I cook one of the corners, and my front wheel catching one of like the lead bad road section, and then my front wheel kind of slip, but I end up to hold it up. And after that, you have at the back of your mind, man, I really don't want to crash, but if you want to win one quick race, you have to be fearless, so, like the second stage, when I win the first stage, I'm I'm fearless, and then going into the second stage, I get caught up in a really dangerous crash, where one of the riders never did get up, I get caught up behind that, and, afterwards, I know that one of the guys, I get really afraid, man. So, and hence the reason why I sit up in at the second stage, I get caught up in like 2 crashes, so into the last lap, the guys then really start riding dangerously, and one of them literally try to take me out, I guess because I had the leader's jersey, they guys they attack you, they want to test how brave you are, and if you're real about this game. So they came and they test me, man, I had to click out, my foot hit the ground, I almost crashed, and I like, nah. I said like, nah.
Wow.
It don't worth it.
Yeah.
And I like, man, I don't want nothing out, man. I like, after the race, CJ Justin, me kind of upset that I sit up because I had the leader's jersey, and I had to get some points in order to make at least them more closer to the Omnium, That was my mistake. For the end of the day, I take full responsibility for now, and I never supposed to mess it up. So, but I get afraid, man. It gets scary, guys. I know what I told them, man. I know a lot of people like say I don't for the bump and grind, but if you don't know how to literally ride like centimeters close to an extra rider, this is another type of racing for you, So, like 3-4 guys attack me on the end, almost crash, hit the deck, like literally almost crash.
Yeah.
I managed to hold it up, and I get afraid. So going into the second stage, start, heart rate already at like 115 before the race even start. But I always pray before my races there and ask for the strength and the guidance and thank God I never hit the deck, so that was my thing, man. Like if you really want to win one of the races, you have to be fearless, and sometimes you have to take a little bit of risk, and the ones you don't take, the ones you miss. So that's my takeaway from it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, cycling is not for the faint of heart.
No, definitely high risk, high reward. With that being said, guys, we're going to wrap up the call here. Obviously, with great success, there's a lot of people behind that, right, Andrew? No one is ever super successful by themselves. So would like to give both you guys the opportunity to recognize those people, both here in Belize, in the U.S., wherever that you guys think play a major role in your current success.
Yes, so obviously we want to start off with thanking the Williams family, Mr. Coleman, Mr. They do a lot for us. I mean, obviously hosting us at their personal house and feeding us all that type of stuff and just ensuring we're safe. Moving on to going into the races and stuff, we had the help of Miles Clark, senior, junior also, and all their friends and families were also who met us there, just making us at home. We had the help of Mr. Glenn Flowers. Obviously he's our sponsor back home. He's done more than enough. We really can't thank him enough. But we just want to say a huge thank you to Mr. Glenn Flowers for always being behind us, supporting us, ensuring that we're also safe out here. Because coming into the U.S., everyone thinks it's like heaven, but truly, things are not cheap out here. So, Mr. Glenn really just look after we in many ways possible. We have our family back home, my family, my brothers, my sisters, they're always behind me, cheering me, supporting all my losses and success. All the fans, all the supporters. I've had some personal supporters reach out to me and just tell me how proud they are. They've supported me from before all the success, and to see them still continue being behind me, even in days of success and the bad days, I appreciate you all. Mr. Oswald Bowman, we have Mr. Adam Cato, you guys are very supportive to me, and also Jiven. So huge respect to everyone who supported us. Me personally, I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, and Sadones, all of you guys back home. We appreciate you a ton. D-Wade, thank you guys a lot for kind of putting us out there on the platform, and just in general supporting our success. We appreciate it.
Definitely, thank you.
I just want to start off by, I want to firstly thank God, to keep us safe always, and through Him, everything possible, it might seem impossible, but, I just hold the faith and, I feel like I'm favored by God, so I just always have to just be grateful and thankful, even for the bad things like what Derek said, sometimes the bad things, we need that in our life to shape we into the person who we have become, because we never remain the same, we always have challenges and bumps and sometimes even mountains, where we feel like we don't get over, but, I always just pray and, and I always be thankful for everything, So, I want to thank God first. Also, I want to thank my family. My family really they're behind me, a couple of times I know, like, the guys, I want to quit, like I said, cycling is very discouraging, very, very discouraging at times, and
you know, it time consuming, you know, and it draining. So, you know, I'm going to stop running a couple of times, and, you know, my mom encouraged me, you know, to stay on the bike, you know, and, you know, once, you know, the old school people like say, you know, I dream about it, so he said, not give up yet. And he said, give me one more year, you know, and, I just have to thank my mom, you know, my sister, my uncle, my cousin, you know, everybody with it behind me. I really appreciate it, you know. Also, you know, I want to thank Mr. Glenn Flowers, you know, when I'm a rookie in this thing, you know, still is, you know, still a rookie, you know, still a sponge, you know, but, you know, when I'm never as good as now, you know, the man gives me one shot on the team, so, and, you know, I really appreciate that, you know, Mr. Glenn, the man have a back, you know, like what Derek said, cycling, I know, cheap sport, you know, super expensive, especially when we're there abroad, you know, in the US, you know, everything super expensive. So big up Mr. Glenn Flowers, you know, big up Mr. Coleman Williams, you know, we're host we're there behind me, you know. Well, a lot of people don't really want to like how Mr. Cal put things, but, you know, if you really pay attention to what this man said, you know, it's true. The man just speak facts, man. We that just want society where we used to the sweet, beautiful lie. So when somebody come and tell you the nasty, hurtful truth, you know, they say, oh, that person, a bad person, or he don't like me, or this or that. But Mr. Carl, you know, I love at the end of the day, and he just want to see better for we. So big up Mr. Carl, big up Miss Des, you know, big up Justin, big up Corey, CJ, you know, the entire Williams family. So big up the entire family, and, you know, also Mr. Milo Scott, Junior, Senior, the man, you know, the man host me and the man back in Oklahoma, Tulsa, you know. We just hit up the man any time of the day, you know, which he has his own personal life. You know, we hit up the man and tell the man, Mr. Miles, please help me do this, do that, you know. Yeah, come in the next 10-15 minutes, so big up to Mr. Miles Clark. You know, big up the supporters, bunch of guys who reach out to me, man, really means a lot. So, you know, appreciate you guys. Also, big up the coach, Mr. Ken Goku, you know, the man really pushed to the next level, you know, super hard training, you know, like I say, you know, so then I asked Derek, man, why you think this man like me, man? He says, type of training here to give me. You know, so, you know, big up to Mr. Ken Goku, you know, I really appreciate him, you know, I just want to thank everybody, you know, thank you to Mr. Donis, David, appreciate you guys, you know, man, you know, tough sports, so I just, you know, all the support, the love, everything we get from this, you know. I also have to big up me, you know, my brother in crime, you know, Derek. No, I always tell him, you know, sometimes me and the man sit down and have some good conversation, you know, you get some tiny conversation, even get serious, you know, this is my brother from another mother, so, you know, we always push each other for be great, you know. Good, not good enough, so we aim for greatness, and we just push each other, you know, and, you know, I'm super proud of what the man they do, you know, how far we come from, you know, come from the same village, so, you know, big up Derek, you know, and for big up the man, so, you know, that's why I thank you, man, you know, one love.
Yes, Jiven and Derek, you know, Andrew, at the end of the day, two little boys from Georgeville turn into two beasts of young men, dominating on the international scenes and carrying the flag of Belize with them, right? You remember we spoke about this the last interview, guys, last week. You are representing Belize, and Belize is behind you 100%. You know, I hope that whatever opportunities that you guys you guys desire come your way. I'm sure this is just the start of bigger and better things. I think both of you guys are capable of reaching higher levels. Like I said, this is just the start, and we are going to be behind you 100%. We're going to make sure that we keep the spirits high, keep the motivation high. It's always about positivity and encouraging our young men. And again, you guys are setting examples for the next generation, right, Andrew?
Right.
These are two very humble and and great examples of what athletes should be. Like, you know, you just heard Jiven saying how difficult the workload is, but yet, you know, he persevered.
Yep.
And when you do that, that's only then you'll see results. So for these young cyclists who are, you know, thinking that it's difficult, well, in order to achieve great success, you have to work hard, right?
Not quite easy.
Exactly. So, you know, my parting words for you guys, again, we wish you all the best. May your heart's desire come through. Again, I think there's tons of more opportunities for you guys on the horizon. Keep focused, you know, continue believing in yourself. You have a great support system. That's who you need to listen to, right? There will be noises outside of that. Block those noises out, and you deal with your support system and your own little circle. I love the relationship that you have with Jiven, have with Derek, and Derek have with Jiven. You know, they're really, you know, operate like brothers, and, you know, when things get tough, you just rely, you know, come back to the foundation, you know, to you guys, and you guys are on a mission, and you're doing great things together. And again, you know, you've got the flag, you're carrying the flag of Belize with you, and we're behind you 100%.
Yep.
And you know, like you mentioned, you know, obviously we have to take advice from our support system a lot more than the guys that just, you know, just speak. You know, at the end of the day, those are the ones that are looking after us, and I think we at least owe it to them to show them respect and, you know, just have that gratefulness for them. So the least we could do is take advice from them and try to make them proud. You know, at the end of the day, those are the guys doing the most for us, and yeah, we should always aim to make them at least happy for success. So
Yeah, I want to tell you, both of you guys, I am super proud of you, both of you, and you maybe not realize how many lives you guys have touched, because so many people come to the bike shop no one wants to ride because they see the success, right? But you have definitely, you guys are superstars, and you are sharing, you know, positive vibes, and like I said, cycling is growing all over the world, and Belize definitely, cycling is one of the #1 sport, and, you know, it's showing with the results that you guys are doing out there. Keep up the good job, and we wish you all the best.
Yeah. When are you guys heading back to Belize? Are you lining up for the nationals, the ITT and the road race?
yeah, for sure we'll be there for the road race and the time trial. We're not sure exactly when we're gonna land, but it's gonna be sometime in the near future.
Okay.
And yeah, we're definitely gonna be there for nationals. I mean, we can't miss our national race. Yeah, we should be home by then.
Yeah, fantastic. And you're the defending double national, right? ITT and road, U23?
You know, so Eric is the ITT champ.
Okay.
And then I am the world champ. So.
Excellent. Very good.
Okay.
Well, again, guys, all the best. Thank you very much for making time for us in your busy schedule. I know recovery is a big part of this, so we will let you get back to your recovery process. Again, thank you very, very much for being a part of this show, and we'll continue supporting you guys.
You have a toast, Lee, you have a toast.
Yep. And with that, we will do the toast for you guys, right? No alcohol, but we'll have a little drink.
Yeah, enjoy.
All right.
Yes, man. All
Thank
right.
you, and have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody. Good
All
night.
right. Yeah, man. So the great conversation. I mean, we could stay all. You know something? You can't give no price tonight because we're not the time.
Boy, Andrew, that was a heck of a interview. You know, it was a pleasure having those young men on, and I kind of, you know, with your permission, obviously, I kind of want to touch on a little topic here.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
So, you know, what we need to do is we need to continue finding opportunities like that, right, for these young people, and not only in cycling, but in other sports as well. As I always say from day one, Andrew, young folks are the future, especially in athletics, right? So you have to definitely put your resources towards that. It shows that when people put their resources to young athletes, we get results. And Jiven and Derek, they have been given the opportunity. You know, Glenn Flowers and the Williams family put their resources behind these two young men, and they're getting great results. you know, with that being said, some people are saying perhaps, you know, why are other folks not getting the opportunities, right? What I encourage other teams to do is identify those talents within their teams and provide them with the opportunities and provide them with the resources in order to raise the level. Because arguably these are the two best Belizean cyclists right now, right? The reason they are is because they have been exposed to the best level of competition, right? Consistently, these two young men have been riding on the international scene. Derek Chavarria, Javin Gonzalez, they were in Jamaica. Derek was in Dominican Republic, right? Javin was in the US doing some crits before Derek. They both came together and now we're seeing results, right? They've been to Honduras. Derek has been to Honduras. So they've always trying to seek out better competition. So in order to develop your skills and raise the level of your riding, we'll use cycling, right? Two things must happen, Andrew. Either you go find better competition in order to get better, or you bring them in, right? So those are the only two things. The other team that's doing well and kind of following the same suit is the Anthony Maladigi Alliance, and I have to congratulate them as well, or recognize them because they are kind of doing that as well. Finding races regionally,
Right.
Going to Mexico. There are some good level races here regionally. You know, we have the Mexicans that ride pretty well. We have Guatemalans, Honduras, Panama, places like that, right? So they do have a good support system. They have a good team. I think within the next year or so, they will really come together as a team. But guys, you know, look at this as the model, right? Put your resources behind these young men and you'll get results. Now, Andrew, Belize is a country of 500,000 people, right? 500,000 people. You're going to countries with millions of people.
Exactly.
And from a small selection, you're able to dominate these races, right? You're able to win races consistently.
Not compete to win.
Correct.
Win.
So what is that saying?
Showing that we have talent.
We do have the talent. Exactly, we have the talent. Now, having the talent is good enough, right? That's fine. But without the opportunities,
The support.
right? There's nothing. So it shows, and I love this. This is a model. This should be a model that needs to be replicated, right? So if you have a team, I would encourage these sponsors. Let's look outside of Belize, you know, for these young men. Identify two young men per team, and give them some opportunities like this, and you will see the level of your team raise, but then you'll see the level of the peloton raise as well. In line with that, I've been saying this over and over as well, Andrew. What I'd like to see from the Belize cycling body, I would love to see us have a rotating national team, okay? With that being said, you need resources to have that, right? With every country, majority of countries have a national team, right? Throughout the year, there's a national team, right? So depending on the race, you select certain riders from that national team to compete. Depending on the terrain, certain riders will fit better. But having a national team is an expensive venture,
True.
right? So we have to lean on the government of Belize. You know, it's a national team. It's representing Belize. We have to lean on the government of Belize. We have to lean on the budget for sports, right? And we need this across the different disciplines as well, whether it's basketball, whether it's volleyball, you know, whether it's football, but you know, cycling. I think we're at a good place where we can get some results, but again, we need to identify a national team. I think the model that the Belizean cycling have been doing and replicating over and over, Andrew, is not going to be too successful, because when these national games come up and these big games, you know, the Pan American Games, the Caribbean Championships, all the other regional games, when they come up, what happens is that we just hurry up and put a couple of guys from different teams together, and that chemistry is not there, right? It doesn't work,
No,
right?
you're just going to throw one team together now.
So basically, you know, you're sending folks out with a recipe to fail, and that's kind of discouraging. They're basically going on vacation, and they're not going to achieve too much success. The level is not going to get there. So what it needs, again, is a national teams, whether guys are getting stipend. They're basically a national team that focus on their discipline. And also, with that being said, you bring in coaches. You know, you have a structured program. You hold these athletes responsible, right? You hold them accountable for their performance. If they're not doing what they need to be doing on the team, then you basically get rid of them and put someone there who's willing to do that, right? So, I mean, that is my 2 cents, and that would be my vision for the sports. We need to develop a national team, right? For example, we have the Caribbean Championships right around the corner. I have not seen
A national team.
a national team yet, right? I think that should have been in place, right? We don't have a lot of guys to select from, right? Put that in place, get some coaching, get some structure, and let's really develop this thing, at a higher level and start running it kind of like a business. It needs to be like a business where it's structure and at the end of the day, it's results driven, right? What is your take on that?
You said a mouthful. The one next part is family support and fund support, and so that's why we beg funds. We are in a small country. You just mentioned it. I don't think we reach 500,000 yet, but when you spread negative vibes, or you said something for broke down a cyclist, or and the guys can complain because they feel that that people hate Panay and they try their utmost best. But if you have a family where I say our family pray together, stay together, right? So if you have a national team where everybody knows their role and family understand, because sometimes family and close friends or fans can cause disarray because when I say boy D, something, you could win a race, no, you work for this one, work for that. No, you have to know your role, right? And like you mentioned, we need to have a national team. We work like a well-oiled machine. One at the piston, one at the starter, one at the alternator, one at the battery. So basically, everything come together as a team. And so, yes, we can work towards that. We should work towards that, and make us support each other, make us show love, and I believe that the sport can grow even better. And that not only cycling we're talking about overall, but we are cycling, and so we want to see it get better. And so having a national team and everybody knowing their role, they're more disciplined, like you said. That you also have 5 man. You have where we call it, people up on the bench with the weight
Sure.
for a position. And so yes, so I think that's something when you really have to put together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like you said, we in the Belizean community, we have to learn to really support each other, right? What these young men are doing, like, it's a great sacrifice, and they're carrying the flags, the flag of Belize on their back. They're making us all feel proud. Everything should be positive about this experience. I can't thank them enough for what they're doing. I can't thank the people enough behind them for helping them do what they do. I just want to wish them continued success, and also for the people who are making those decisions, let's continue to take a hard look at at what these folks are doing, and then trying to replicate that so we can really raise the level of cycling, in Belize.
Yeah, the boy we could have.
Man,
we're going over time.
So we'll have to deal with the giveaways next week.
Next week we have to double up on
Yeah,
the giveaways,
sorry about that, guys. But we're so passionate about cycling, and then we also wanted to make sure that we give these guys they deserve.
Exactly, they deserve all. The show was about them. The show tonight was about or rather, what is that? What is that?
I want Doris smile at me the way Doris smile when he listen to cycling stories from cycling. I do love this sport.
Yeah. Something. Some people ask me, because I do a new job, right? So I run into a classmate when I got at the funeral for Mr. Clinton Castillo. So I tell him, man, I say classmate. The man said, don't do that. He said, because it look like you get young and I get old, right? But I tell a man, you know something in a life, when you're passionate about something and you love something, anything you're passionate about make you feel good, you understand? And you have a reason for it, because if you listen to some young kids, they are depressed. They live for social media or for likes or whatever. But when you live for something, when you love, you want to get up every day. You have that energy to get up every day. Every day I get up and I feel like I have 100 more years to live on the face of this earth, right? I don't know how much longer I have to go, but that passion that you have, you know, nothing and nobody can bring you down. Like I tell people, nobody could upset. People say, "Why you laugh about everything?" He said, "They tell you bad things, you laugh. They tell you good, you laugh." So the thing is, it's about staying happy, because nothing will own on his face of this earth will care. But when you could see that, you know, you do something you love and you see people smile on their face and, you know, they can't thank you, that will keep you going. So that's what I want to share too. Yeah, D, well, next week, folks, we are double up for a prize. And tonight is a nice prize, because I said, but I get 1 dozen powder bunny trim I win tonight, boy. So.
Andrew, before we leave, we'll leave some other good news with the viewers.
Okay.
I just got a text from the president of the Cycling Federation. Belize is now ranked 69th.
Awesome.
In the world, ahead of El Salvador, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The only teams that are ranked above Belize there in the region is Costa Rica, Panama, Guatemala, Bermuda. So previously he told me that 2 years ago we were in the hundreds.
And
now we're at 69th.
Wow.
On the world scene.
Amazing.
As a country, as a little country of less than 500,000 people. So,
a few cyclists, yeah.
Mr. President, thank you for that information. And continue doing what you're doing. Continue giving these young men opportunities. And again, it's a great model, and the other team owners and sponsors will definitely follow that suit. Again, if you want your riders to be good, bring in more riders and have races with more international riders, or go send them where the best are, and they'll get to be one of the better teams.
George, just before I close, I definitely want to put up a picture with Roque. We find it right. Put up a picture with Roque that I think that one they come second. Is that it? Yeah, so there's Roque Matos coming in second in that.
That's in second stage, right?
Second stage, yeah.
Excellent. What was he overall? Like third?
I'm getting the full information.
Pretty sure in the top 5 overall as well. So congratulations to our master rider Roque Matos, did well in that 3-day Masters Tour in the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana.
Yeah. D, your final words?
Well, thank you guys for a great show. When I told you it was going to be an exciting show, I wasn't lying, right? So it was an exciting show. I had a lot of fun. You see, both of us, you know, we're passionate about cycling. One of the things that, my takeaways from the interview with the guys that I got was how the cycling community in Tulsa was such love, so much love. It was one body. They were there with a common goal, right? And it was love. What I'd love to see is we replicate that somehow in Belize.
Right.
You know, we had a meet and greet, and Mr. Bowman tried that, and it wasn't well attended. I want to urge folks next year, you know, let's do it, because it's done all across the world. You know, we can come out and we can have fun with each other, and we can laugh and joke and just wish each other well. But knowing that you have prepared yourself for the journey and for that race, then you go out there and you guys compete and kick butt, and may the best man win, right? So you know, there's a little bit too much negativity in Belizean cycling community for me. I'd love to see again everyone just, you know, laugh and talk and joke around, and then, you know, you go to race and you know, you make it happen, and after race you go back to the same thing, right? So that was kind of my takeaway. But with that being said, once again, guys, thank you very, very much. Thanks to all our viewers. I see the fans and the viewers were definitely participating and engaging. We love that. Sorry we couldn't take some of your calls this week, and sorry about the giveaways, but Donis said he'll double up, so we'll hold that.
Yes, man.
You know, we'll hold him to that, and then we'll be back next week with some more fun and a great show. Good night, everyone.
Yeah. Before I close, I want to say thanks for everybody who tuned in. Congratulations again to Derek and Javen, who made us super proud there in Tulsa. Keep up the great job, guys. Definitely make our nation proud. Also, thank you, Roque. You represent us there in the Masters there in Dominican Republic, and we want to keep cycling alive, and that's the purpose. I make my way every Thursday night up at the Boom. I jump on a motorcycle and bring race into your living room to keep the fans engaged in this beautiful sports we all love. Before I leave, I want to thank you, Dee, for being such a great co-host. I definitely want a big thank you to George behind the scene, preparing all these. It's not an easy job. You understand? George have a life, he have a job where you have to make money off of. And, he goes way and beyond. I want to say a big thank you to Rochelle, Donos outside, my daughter-in-law, and my beautiful wife outside, who make sure you come up with me, you want to keep me safe, right? So thank you, and I want to thank each and everyone who make this thing. Definitely shout out Kevin Logan, thank you again for the food and all tires. With that said, folks, have a blessed. Oh, before I go to my sweetheart, thank you, my sweetheart, for
Toast.
for champagne there. The sweets.
Right? Oh, I'm gonna text you.
Yeah.
All right.
Make it take a toast before.
Toast,
Yeah.
toast to the 185th edition of the
Yeah.
As the Wheels Turn.
George, you never get yours?
I got my glass.
Oh, you got yours?
Here, George.
Okay.
I got four. Yeah, right. I'm saying what I got.
Yeah, sit
All
down,
right.
I got one, yeah. So, toast to
Sure.
keeping cycling alive in Belize, and toast to all cyclists that made us proud.
Toast to the best show and the best host, Andrew Ordones.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. With that, folks, we out.
As the wheels turn, every Thursday night we pedaling. As the wheels turn, racing through the streets and through the hills. As the wheels